Are you looking for an idea on how to use sauerkraut? I have one of the simplest and best recipes for you. My name is Adrian and welcome to my channel. So let's get started. You will need a fatty piece of pork, preferably a fatty piece of pork belly or in my case, pork jowl. You can find all the ingredients listed in the description. Cut the meat into strips in such a way that when you dice it, each piece has a portion of fat and meat. Dice the meat into small pieces, but not too small. It's good to feel the meat while eating. Transfer the meat onto a cold pan and start melting the fat. Don't use a non-stick pan for this recipe. Now chop the onion. You can do it in two ways, either slice it lengthwise or chop it into larger cubes. Drain the excess juice from the sauerkraut. You can gently squeeze it. Then transfer it onto a cutting board and roughly chop it. Don't throw away the juice from the sauerkraut. Firstly, it may be needed if sauerkraut is not sour enough and you need to add a little bit more to the pan. Secondly, the juice is very healthy and you can simply drink it. If the bits start sticking, don't worry about it, just stir and keep frying. When what you got on the pan is already brown, like mine, we can add onions. Fry it until it starts to turn brown. Now we can add cabbage, which will stop the frying process by lowering the temperature. And the cabbage juice will help us to remove all the flavor from the bottom of the pan that formed during the frying. To do this, just scrape all the brown bits from the bottom of the pan. This is why you shouldn't use a non-stick pan. Firstly, it prevents the flavor bits from sticking to the bottom. And secondly, scraping them off a non-stick may not be a good idea. After some time, the sauerkraut should start frying and sticking to the bottom again. Check and scrape it off the bottom from time to time. When your sauerkraut has turned brown like mine and it's already tender when you try it, it's time to add the spices. Add about 2 teaspoons of Caraway or Fennel Seeds and a similar amount of freshly ground black pepper. You can start with less and taste it to see if the flavor is okay or if it's too peppery, for example. Mix everything together and fry for another minute or two so that the spices can release their flavor and aroma. And it's ready. We usually serve this cabbage as a side dish to meats, but it can also be a main course. In my opinion, it's delicious, but you should taste it yourself and tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.